Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new. I'm going to be recording this, or right now, recording this for my YouTube channel and also on the podcast. So, for those that are watching for the first time or listening for the first time, my name is Anu Adedure, and I want to share something that I don't think I've shared before. And the reason why I'm sharing is because, as y'all know, yesterday my baby clocked 1 year. Yay! And I'm super excited because she has been an amazing and absolute blessing in our lives. She's the funniest, most adorable, always smiling, always super friendly, to be very sincere. I can't even lie about that. She's very friendly. And much more. But the thank you video and some other videos that I want to do with her, I'm going to do separately. This video and this podcast, the reason why I'm doing it is I want to talk about postpartum 1 year later. And I want to talk about 10 things that I've either learned or has happened to me or have been able to navigate life through it. And the reason why I'm sharing it is because I just want you to understand that this journey is not just a straightforward or motherhood. You know, some people have this mindset that for most moms, it's like immediately you give birth to the child, it just happens naturally. You already know everything that has to happen. All of us are learning together. That's why we are both parents, right? So that's what I've noticed so far, especially when it comes to like men. I feel like a lot of men. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my microphone. I noticed that what's wrong with this thing? I noticed that most men actually think that their wives give birth and they automatically know what to do with the child every time. And it doesn't work that way. We are all both learning. Instincts might be a bit different. Which, to be very sincere, some men actually have better instincts when it comes to taking care of a child than some women. So don't even mix it up. My first thing that I learned as a lesson, let me take the first lesson, is patience. I've noticed that I used to think I have patience until I had a kid, and ooh la 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 la, it's a different ball game. It taught me patience and love. Those two lessons, I think that I felt like I knew what love really meant. Even when I got married, I thought I understood what love really meant. But it was a different ballgame when I had my baby. And so far, 1 year later, I still think that there are so many things that I'm learning about patience, about love. It's you just have to be selfless. You have to forget about yourself sometimes, not every time. And I always preach, don't lose yourself when you have a kid. But when I mean forget yourself, it means that sometimes you have to cripple that selfish interest that, oh, this has to be about me today, and just go ahead and say, you know what, this kid is the priority, this kid is everything, so I have to make sure that I go out of my way to take care of this child. So I think a lot of time people think that they really, really know and love their kids until they're like, what did I get myself into? So the first thing I've learned is love and patience, and I continually pray that God will give us the ability to actually care, love, and be patient. And you really taught me about the love of God. You understand? Like, and this is just one lesson. All these lessons in one point, which is patience and love. And it makes you understand how patient God really is with you, and how much God loves you, and how He gives and gave Himself up for us. So yeah, I would say that's the first thing. Number two is not a lesson, but something that I have noticed that. So don't let me lie to you. I am glad it happened. Is period. So I'm the kind of person that I actually don't even always like. I don't always have period cramps or all those things. A lot of people always have it, but I don't. I've never. I think maybe when I just have my period, but if not, apart from that, no, I have not. So I'm grateful that I'm not because I've been breastfeeding. And for some women, like my friend was still telling me that she was breastfeeding for a year. She was breastfeeding for about 6 months, but 6 weeks after she gave birth, she had seen a period. And I'm like, girl, I'm not jealous of you, because this is 1 year after and there's no period. Because she's really, really, and I always talk about, she's heavy on breast milk. When I mean heavy, I mean heavy. biggie, heavy, baby. Do you want me? That's how gemology is with breast milk. So I'll be able to try to navigate myself around how I can work with her when it comes to like her breastfeeding and stuff like that. And with that particular point, taking to my next point. So period, as and I think I did a video on periods and some other things that I did a video. You should check. I think second to the last video of mine. I believe that I did a video on that, so you should check it out. And I also posted one or two things on Instagram about periods and some other things, and I'm going to also do one video on what's that video I wanted to do? Why am I forgetting this? I'm going to do a video on when after you give birth, what did you wear? For me, I prefer pull-ups versus pads. So I did an Instagram post. I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can see it. But I did an Instagram post on that, and I'm going to do a sit-down YouTube video on that too, and talk about what I feel is better when it comes to pad or pull-up. So when it comes to period, it's been like that because there's an article that states, I believe this article talks about periods and giving birth. I'm just postpartum, let's check it out. Yeah, so when it comes to breastfeeding, some people see their periods 6 weeks, immediately after 6 weeks, but for some people, they don't see it until they stop breastfeeding. So I think I fall into that category of women that I've not seen my period because I'm still heavily breastfeeding. So yeah, that's what I would say. And me, I like it to be very me, I like it. I like that I have not, and I can't even lie to you. The reason why I'm happy that I've not is because it's very different for me. That's what I would say. It's very, very different. So for breastfeeding, I remember that when I just gave birth, a lot of people, especially Nigerians, we take a lot of pap. That's corn, like a blended corn, and you sieve it, and it's called pap. A lot of people actually always love taking pap because it increases or helps their flow when it comes to breastfeeding. But in my case, it actually reduces it. But you give me a cup of water, a glass of water, I will, like, it was like that. It worked like magic. So what I want to talk about, the lesson I learned when it comes to breastfeeding was that for a lot of people, don't generalize what happened to everybody, that the same thing will happen to you. Like, because everybody takes pap and increases their milk flow doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Or people take lactating cookies, it's going to it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So actually know what works for you and run with it, go with it. Number 4 is my tier. So I remember that when I was talking about my labor story, I talked about that I had a level 2 tier. I'm going to be linking the video up also. And when I talk about the level 2 tier, you have to do something to help the healing, and it's called a sit bath. So where you sit down on like a very, very not hot water, but just warm, so that it kind of gives that area healing. I think I put and they'll also give you a bottle in the hospital because you can't like go and wipe up, right? So they'll give you this bottle with a hole where it's just something similar to this oil, right? So this oil, if you see the top of this oil, I don't know why it's not in focus. Okay, so let me show you. The top of this oil as a hole, right? Where if I pour it, you will see that the oil will try to drip out. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see the oil is trying to drip out. Let me just have it to my hair. But in this case, it's a bottle. Mine was a white transparent bottle, and I had to put water and a bit of salt in, and I shook together, and you spray that area. The only thing I didn't like about this period was that when the tear, like the sewing place or where the doctor stitched, right, and when he was healing, he was so itchy. Oh my god, he was, oh my god, I can still, like, I still have like the feel till now where he was so itchy, and you can't scratch it. Oh my god, guys, women are going through stuff. Women are going through stuff. Number five is baby's growth. My baby was, when I gave birth to her, she was quite tall. She was 20 inches, 20.9 inches. Right now she's almost 30 inches. And I was still looking at her car seat, because the car seat thing says that the baby has to use it till their age 2. But this girl is so tall, so we had to always switch up clothes. So, and like I told my mamas when I was talking about like things to do before you give birth, I'll try and look for the video and link it up also. I always say that wait till like you're almost giving birth, or wait, don't just go buy a bunch of clothes, because you never know. My baby was quite tall, so I knew that I had to almost wait. And there was this jump. Like right now, the length of the dresses she's wearing, they're 2T. Even though in like size, she's not like that big baby, but she's that tall baby where when you buy a dress, right now I'm buying 2T, like for a 2-year-old, because her height, she's that tall, but for the width I have to adjust it a bit, because she's also not like plumpy kind of baby. So that I learned. So babies grow really fast, so enjoy the season where they're all cute and cutie and dolly and everything, but they grow really fast. Number 6 is immunization. Guys, I think the first time we went to take an immunization, I'll try and look for if I have a video, even though I'm looking for a particular phone I believe that I used to record a video, but I will see if I can find it in my archives. The first time she took immunization, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And that time it was still COVID, but they allowed me and her dad to come together. So I remember that when we went together, and she took her first immunization. I was able to hold her, and I remember that one trick that they told me on when I watched one of these YouTube videos was that the lady I was watching, when they were about giving her baby the immunization, she was breastfeeding the baby, so it was easier for the baby to put more attention on the milk than the than the injection in itself. And the nurses were so adorable. So she took one that like 2 weeks after we gave birth, I believe. She took one at, I think, 1 month, 3 months. Let me see. So they'll give you this yellow card. Okay, let me even show you. So with Alberta Health Services, they give you this yellow card, and this yellow card helps you to note what immunizations that your baby has gotten. So she got one in October, she got one in December, she actually got 4 in October. That was 2 months. So that was 3 months. 2 months. So she got one October. She got 4 of them. She got for tetanus. She got for new CI3. She got one in December. She got one in no, not one. I think she also got 4 in December. So she got 3 in October, she got 4 in December, and she got 2 in March. So after they gave her the 2 months, I believe 4 months, and then they gave her 6 months, they told us that the next time we'll be there will be 6 months after. So this coming week, I will be going back to the clinic to actually get immunization for her. So I was able to like breastfeed her and kind of take her attention off it. She's quite a strong girl. I would say 2 things that I remember that nobody told me was, when you're going, for those based in Canada, if you're going to the hospital, make sure that you take a blanket, because you have to strip your child, right? You have to strip your child down to just, I think, a clean diaper. Then also there's one of, oh my god, what's the name of this one? There's an oral one that they give them. I've forgotten the exact name, but there's an oral immunization they give them. So they just drop that thing into her mouth. So you have to actually make sure that you're washing your hand for the next 10 days after you give her that immunization. I'll try and check and probably put it on the screen for you. I can't remember the name, but this oral one, they drop it in her mouth, and for the next 10 days, every time we changed her poop, because she'll be ingesting it, so every time we changed her poop, we had to always thoroughly wash our hands really well. Not that we were not washing our hands before, but we had to thoroughly wash our hands. The next one, which is number 7, is dealing with fatigue. To be very sincere with you, I was always tired sometimes. I felt like it was a lot. I was not sleeping well. A lot of things really happened to me. I will add number 7 to number 8. I was not having so much appetite. Even till now, I really don't always have so much of appetite. I remember there was a time, I think 2 months postpartum, my iron level really dropped because I was not sleeping well. I was not eating well. I was stressed. I'm grateful to my parents, and also friends that would always come help. My neighbors downstairs were instrumental help when it comes to like taking care of her. They would say, okay, you know what, bring her, you take some time off, you and your husband just take some time and chill. My mom has been amazing, my dad has been amazing, and my husband will always like, okay, you know what, go and sleep. The days where he's able to help, he was able to help. I was really tired. Till now I'm still taking iron drugs, just to make sure that everything is still going on well. But yes, please make sure that you seek help, ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Sometimes people feel like, oh, you know what, we can do this by ourselves. It takes a village to raise a child. I'll share my friend that now, and I believe that this video will go up just before I put the vlog for her first year birthday. And to be very sincere with you, it takes a village to raise a child, and I thank God for the kind of village I have surrounding my baby. It's been the most amazing village, to be very sincere with you. Number 9 is it's not a mistake. One of the things that actually shocked me was for my baby, she was very clingy because I was exclusively breastfeeding her, and for one reason or the other, after my mom left, she stopped taking the bottle from my husband and I, and it was so bad that I couldn't go out. Like I couldn't go 10 minutes away or 15 minutes away, whatever away, because once she wants to eat, she would cry and cry and cry. There were days where I would just cry because I was just overwhelmed about everything and how it felt and stuff like that. So one way we're able to do it was my neighbors were able to help. At some point she was taking the bottle from them, and at some point she stopped also. So we had to get help here and there, but she was a bit clingy, and one of the things, or one of the ways that I would say, she would let people carry her. Not that she wouldn't let people carry her, but when it comes to food, nobody can touch her. And I remember that one of the things that I noticed was that once she's teething or when she's about to have a teeth. So our teething process was so peaceful. Oh, I'm so grateful to God. So no pooping, no extracurricular activities for some babies. For my baby, it was more or less, when she's extra clingy, I knew that she's teething, and this is not her fault. Sorry guys, I think that my eyes are getting tired. So once I noticed that she's extra clingy, she's everything is kind of almost irritating her, I know that this girl is about teething. So I make sure that I'm kind of there for her. And the good thing about Canada is you have 1 year maternity leave. You can actually increase or stretch it to about 18 months. But for me, I felt like 1 year was good enough, right? And that's what I used. So last but not the least is schooling with a baby. So I started an online schooling. I started an online course, and it wasn't easy, to be very sincere with you. Shout out to my neighbors, shout out to my mom, shout out to my husband. It wasn't easy writing exams, writing weekly tests. It wasn't easy, to be very sincere with you, but God has been a great help. God has been a great help. So those are 10 things that have happened, that lessons learned, things that you also could learn when it comes to your baby and what to do and how to make sure that you take that time to rest, take that time to splurge on yourself sometimes, take that time to get out of your space sometimes, you understand, get out of that space and take care of yourself also. So yeah, this is all I'll be saying. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel for more mom content, for more faith-based content, and for more I'll be also shooting some wedding content, and the reason I'll be shooting some wedding content is I'll be sharing some other lessons. And if you've not seen my the playlist for weddings, please make sure that you click on it. I'll also be linking it here. Please make sure that you watch some of the lessons that I learned. And our marriage will be 2 years by October, and we'll also be sharing 2 years what we've learned so far. Till we see you next time, but till I see you next time on another brand new podcast for those listening and brand new video on YouTube. Continually support your girl, subscribe, like, share, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when I drop a brand new video. God bless you. Bye.